Okay, I for some reason went to bed at like 1:40 a.m. last night. And then, of course, Kawhi Leonard signs at like almost 2 a.m. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, Kawhi's a Clipper. Huge news. But like, alright, Kawhi, Gallo, SGA. And then I see that Woj was like, yeah, the Raptors tried getting Paul George and Russell Westbrook to stay Kawhi. I was like, damn, that would have been interesting. And then I find out freaking Paul George is a Clipper. The Clippers traded SGA, Gallinari, the Miami pick, and I believe like 4 other first and like pick swaps. Oh my god, this is like, I think this is the biggest news of the offseason by far. I think Jerry West, Steve Ballmer, Doc Rivers, all these guys just pulled off literally the biggest move of their franchise. Yes, trading for Chris Paul was huge and pairing him up with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan was a nasty trio when you had guys like JJ Redick in there with them. But damn, I'm also shocked the Thunder traded Paul George. I have so much to talk about this. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this in 3 different sides. I'm going to talk about this in the Clippers side, then the Thunder side, and then I'm going to talk about this on the Lakers-Raptors side. Now, if we're talking about this on the Clippers side, wow. Immediately, they get Kawhi Leonard, the guy that's been rumored to go there the whole season. Apparently, there was a report that he didn't want to be the 3rd star in LA with the Lakers. He wanted to kind of be his own team with just one other star, which I think most NBA fans can say, thank you, Kawhi. We're finally going to have balance in the NBA. And they go out there and they trade for Paul freaking George. Now, I don't know the Kawhi Leonard contract yet. I don't think it's been reported, but I'm going to guess it's somewhere like 4-year, 140. Yep, 4-year, 142 maximum deal. So he's going to be there for the next 4 years. Like, I'm blown away. Him and Paul George on the wings, literally arguably the 2 best defensive two-way wings in the NBA. It's literally those 2, I think, are the 2 best. Like, there isn't a debate. And then you have, like, Jimmy Butler in there. And that's really it. So that is just crazy enough. Maybe Anthony Davis has been up there as well. And Giannis. But those are 2 definitely top 5 two-way players in the NBA. Now, around that roster, you're going to have Zubac, you're going to have Jerome Robinson, you're going to have Patrick Beverley. It's going to be interesting to see how they fill out that team, because also Danny Green decided to sign with the Lakers. But they make off a move to get a top 3 player in the NBA in Kawhi Leonard. They sign him, and then they go out and trade for Paul George. And Paul George, who all the rumors last year was like, he's going to go to the Lakers, he's going to play in LA. What ends up in LA to play for the Clippers? So the Clippers and Nets arguably had better teams than the more popular team in their city than the Knicks and Lakers. Lakers still have Anthony Davis and LeBron, so they're still going to be title contenders. Adding Danny Green, Kyle Kuzma, it's still a good team. It's still a great team, actually. The Knicks, on the other hand, they're not going to be title contenders this year. But yeah, the Lakers, Clippers, great offseason. That's obviously a great offseason. I would have loved to see KD was healthy this year, because this would have been probably the most entertaining NBA season to date, at least in the last like 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, the 2015-16 finals were still pretty crazy. But wow, okay. So now I'm going to talk about this on the Thunder side. I actually really like this idea of getting out of one of your, I guess not bad contracts, because obviously it's not a bad contract. Paul George should be making what he's making. But with him, with Roberson, with Westbrook, with Adams, you're up at the luxury tax. You have no flexibility. You just got a whole pool of draft picks from the Clippers, one being the Miami 2021 first. You just got Gallinari, so the Thunder could still contend for a playoff spot next year. And I think they will. If Roberson's fully healthy, they'll have Russ, they'll have Adams, they'll have Gallinari, who was a borderline all-star last year. And they're going to have, I think, 4 future picks and then a couple pick swaps. That's just an absurd return. I think that was a good move. Now, I saw or read a little bit that they could still move Westbrook, and that would be absurd. I think somebody brought up the Knicks. That's not happening. Miami would be interesting. What about like a Miami-Washington swap? John Wall and like a first for Westbrook. That'd be kind of funny, but I don't think that would happen. I think Miami would be interesting, honestly. I think that's the only viable team at this option, or at this point, that would take him. I don't know how him and Jimmy and Russ would work, though. Oh, apparently so Toronto could have gotten Westbrook and Paul George, but they would have had to give up Siakam. I mean, if you were going to keep Kawhi Leonard and have Siakam and have Paul George, Russ, and Kawhi, I mean, that's a weird trio. I just wouldn't want Russ either. I would have, if I was them, and Kawhi would have signed a 4-year extension, I would have traded Siakam for George 100%. Like, Kawhi's, 27, 28, maybe 29. I don't know off the top of my head. I think he's like 28. So, what is Siakam, 23, 22? I think you make that trade if you're getting Paul George. But they're giving up SGA. They're giving up 4 first-round picks. And the Thunder, I like where they can go from here. Now they have assets. Now they have a nice young player. I don't know how they're going to... Oh, yeah, they have SGA too, so they can roll out like a SGA, Russ, and then whoever they're going to play at small forward, power forward, and center. Obviously, Adams and Gallo will be the front court, which is actually an interesting front court as well. I think Russ is going to go back to, like... I mean, he already just averaged a triple-double, but hopefully it's a more efficient triple-double this year because I'd be down to see that and him just take over every single game. Now I want to talk about this on the Lakers and Raptors side of things. The Lakers, this hurts a lot because they put all their eggs in this basket. They were lucky enough to get Danny Green. I saw that. I thought, wow, I thought Danny Green was just going to follow Kawhi and he was going to end up being a Clipper anyway. But Danny Green goes to the Lakers, which is a fantastic pickup with LeBron. He's played with great shooters like Kyle Korver, Ray Allen throughout his career. Now you still have the unstoppable duo of LeBron and Anthony Davis for another year of LeBron's still prime career because he's been in his prime for the last 10 years. That's still a nasty duo. You're going to have Taylor Horton Tucker. I don't even know who's going to play point guard for them. Is it going to be Caruso? Who knows? Kuzma's still a good player. I mean, if LeBron takes off this regular season, I could still see them winning 45-plus games, make the playoffs as a 6th seed or something, and then LeBron can actually give a crap in the playoffs, and he could take them to a final still, because they're going to be good, the Clippers are going to be good, the Trailblazers are going to be good, the Nuggets are going to be good, the Jazz are going to be good. OKC could still be good. I don't think championship level good, but they could still be respectable. It's going to be very entertaining in the Western Conference this year, and the Eastern Conference. This does hurt for the Raptors, but you have to realize Kawhi gave you a title, your first championship ever. I mean, it must hurt to see him go because you thought you had no shot because that report. Oh, what's with Kawhi making big moves like such late at night? Like when he got traded to the Raptors, it was at like 4 in the morning. I know that isn't Kawhi, but like still. But you know what? When that trade happened, the Raptors were like, damn, this is completely a 1-year rental. And it still was technically, but he got you the one thing you traded him for. So it was worth it 100%. It will always be worth it. In 100 years from now, that trade will be worth it. Next year, the trade will be worth it. Even if you win 0 games next year, that trade was worth it. So now we get to see Pascal Siakam shine. And they will have a little bit more cap flexibility, I believe, next year. Because Kyle Lowry and Marc Gasol will both be free agents. Maybe Ibaka as well, so they can see what they want to do with their... I mean, they're not a free agency destination, but they can definitely take on bad contracts. See what they want to do there. Now, like, I'm just happy the NBA is balanced. Like I said, all those teams in the Western Conference can compete. In the Eastern Conference this year, you're going to have Milwaukee. I mean, Milwaukee's got to be ecstatic right now. They are clear-cut favorites to make it to the finals in the East. Them in Philadelphia. I don't really think any team is going to come close to them in the East. I think it's going to be them too. Unless bearing injuries or some surprise season from someone. Not saying those two are the only, like, chances or 2 teams in the East that can make it. Like, yes, Boston could surprise a lot of people. Tatum takes the next step. Brooklyn could even be really good next year. Even Toronto could still be really good next year. Honestly, Indiana, obviously. The East is going to be very interesting. Obviously, I don't think teams like Detroit, Chicago, Orlando. Like, Orlando taking the next step would be pretty cool. But like I said, I don't think that's happening. I think I saw somebody say Aaron Gordon for Russell Westbrook. That would just be no for Orlando. I don't know if I would want to do that. Russell, like, if Russell's contract wasn't this bad, I would say maybe if he was a free agent like 2 years. But he's got like 4 years left on it or something like that. But yeah, I'm just happy that the NBA is finally going to have some balance. That's like one big thing I wanted. That's kind of why, as a Knicks fan, even if KD was going to Brooklyn, I just was happy the NBA was going to be good again. But especially because he's going to be injured next year. And even like Golden State could be good with, who knows, maybe D'Lo's going to shine in that system. I don't think the Warriors are going to be... I mean, they still have 3 All-Stars on their team that are really good players. Draymond, you'll have Russell, and you'll have Steph Curry. So that'll be a very interesting team. And you'll have Stein, and maybe Clay will come back in May or April or March or something. But yeah, this trade was crazy. This signing was crazy. Shout out to that Airy guy on Twitter who I guess had no idea what he was talking about, and that RDM Twitter account that might have got deleted or something or suspended. That was super funny. So yeah, that'll be for me. Thank you all for watching. Obviously, you guys are going to see a Kawhi, Paul George, Clippers rebuild out today, and then you'll probably get a new look Thunder rebuild out tomorrow, and then maybe a new look Raptors or Lakers out the next day. So yeah, that is going to be for me. Thank you all for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in today's rebuild. Peace.